for a reaction to today's vote and the path ahead. Joining me now from Atlanta, ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee, Republican Doug Collins. Thank you, Congressman, for being here. Your thoughts on this day and what the fallout is from it?
Well, as I was on a flight back to Atlanta, it was really a sobering thought, because really what I had said earlier today really began to hit, and that is that a dark cloud has fallen upon the House. And it's not a cloud of something that we have not known about. It's something that the Democrats have talked about now for well over 2 years, or almost 3 years, since Donald Trump was elected. But what they did today is again, went to the floor of the House and shredded our procedures and shredded our rules and lied to the American people about saying that they wanted to be fair. How is it fair what they did today when they're going to continue their sham under, behind closed doors, possibly having a couple of open hearings, but having no input, if they're really in an inquiry, having no input from the administration or any lawyers from the administration or anyone else, waiting till later to do that in the Judiciary Committee? Really, it's just a sad state of affairs, and they're going to have to answer for that one day.
You know, there have been Republicans behind these closed doors, as you know, redirecting, asking questions, following up. We haven't seen the transcripts of that, but they've been in the rooms. Now you're heading into this public hearing time frame. Aren't you going to have a chance to, in front of the American people, make the case by redirecting the questioning on some of those witnesses?
Oh, we're going to have the chance, Brett, and I think that's interesting. You talked about not seeing those transcripts. I'm a member of the House. I'm a duly elected member of the House from the state of Georgia, and our rule book says that I could have access to any of those transcripts that I want as long as I ask for those from the relevant committee chairs. I've tried to do that. That rule has not been replaced, it's not been set aside, and yet they will not let me, as a member of the House, view those transcripts. As we look forward to this, right now what they are doing, though, is Adam Schiff and other members of that committee are leaking out only the parts that they want to leak out and threatening Republicans not to leak out anything. This is a one-sided event. This is what I mean by the fact that the Democrats are simply shredding the processes of our House because they're not allowing the minority to have any possibility under normal circumstances to view the very things that they're working on. The American people deserve better than this. If you're going to overturn an election, then you ought to be a lot more transparent about it.
Here's what Democrats are saying. They're saying that you all have been talking about process. You've been demanding a vote on the inquiry of impeachment. They did the vote today. They are moving forward with the public hearings, and they're calling your bluff. And now it's about the substance. Do you have any problems with the substance of what you've seen so far?
Oh, very much so. I mean, if this is calling our bluff, then maybe they didn't hear what we were asking for. We were asking for the very same things that we found. If you're wanting to do it, now, Brett, let's be very clear about this. If you want good process leads to good substance. Unless you've already got your mind made up on what you want, Adam Schiff obviously seems to have impeachment on his mind, then you don't care about process. But true process makes you go and look at the facts, make a fairness process, and then you determine something. We did this under Clinton. We did this under Nixon. Today, they put out maybe 8 pages of how they want to handle this. By the way, we still don't know how they're going to take those transcripts and get them to the Judiciary Committee. We don't have a time frame. We don't know how they're going to open that up. We don't know anything about how we're actually to view those and how they get to when they get to our committee, how the president and his team and how we'll be able to have hearings. There's no process in there to say, yes, the Judiciary Committee is actually going to have an open hearing. Are we going to be simply bound to the report that Adam Schiff gives us? If we are, then Adam Schiff better be there to testify. The problem is they want you to appear that they've done something. In reality, all they did was solidify Adam Schiff's control. They kicked OGR, the Oversight Committee, out. They kicked Foreign Affairs out and tightened it down even further. For them to tell the American people that this is something good, then I challenge them, as I did on the floor today. Let's have an honest debate. If you want this to be a true inquiry, then treat it with the respect and the deference that it deserves, not the way that they're doing it now in the basement of the Capitol, simply letting people know what they want to know.
Here is Congressman Clyburn and Speaker Pelosi today. Take a listen.
The harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. We are here today because brave, dedicated public servants and patrons are standing up for their country.
Nobody, I doubt anybody in this place or anybody that you know comes to Congress to take the oath of office, comes to Congress to impeach the President of the United States, unless his actions are jeopardizing our honoring our oath of office.
I understand, Congressman, your arguments about process, your arguments about fairness. They, on the floor, numerous times talked about the substance of concerns of men like Colonel Vindman, like other people who have testified about this call and what they saw behind the scenes. On the substance question, do you have concerns at all?
No, not at this point. And let me just go back to what Ms. Pelosi has said right there. She said that they didn't come to Congress to impeach. Did we not have a huge controversy the day of swearing in from a congresswoman from Michigan, Ms. Tlaib, who said that we're here to impeach him? I mean, come on, Ms. Pelosi, you know better than this. You're just pandering to the American people when you say that. But on the substance issue, Brett, I'll go to the substance issue. We can talk about process, which could get this out in the open and people to see. But let's talk about substance. We see the transcript. We know what's in the transcript. We see what is there. We know from President Trump and President Zelensky that neither have said that there was any pressure. President Zelensky said there was nothing from his side that caused him concern. We also know for a fact that the Ukrainian government did not even know these discussions were going on until late August at the earliest, when this call took place on July 25th. We also know that Bill Taylor, one of their star witnesses, was not on first-hand information, not even second-hand, not even third-hand. He was on fourth-hand information. So if we go forward in this, we're going to definitely hit the process problems, but we're also going to hit the substance, because at this point in time, everything has been laid out, has shown nothing that the president did wrong, just as exactly as what we did for 10 months in the Judiciary Committee while we were saying that he was basically a Russian agent. Let's let the people take a deep breath and see the facts for what they are.
Congressman Doug Collins, we appreciate your time.
Brett, it's always good to be with you. Take care.